Hi, Trends Recapper here. Today, I'm going to explain a film based on the real-life story of the youngest warrior of World War II called Soldier Boy. Sergei Aleshkov was just a 6-year-old boy when he lost all his family in the brutal civil war that swept through Russia. With no one left to care for him, he joined the Russian army and fought bravely against the Germans in many battles. The film starts in Russia, where a family of 3 is having fun by the river. Sergei Aleshkov, the youngest, brags to his older brother and mother that he is on top of a tree. At that moment, German fighter planes fly over. The mom tells her kids to quickly hide in the bushes, but the 6-year-old says he's not scared and uses a slingshot to hit the jet. Everyone is shocked when he hits the jets and blows them up. But when he looks around, he can't find his family. Sergei wakes up from the dream feeling scared and calls for his mom. Then someone comes and knocks on his door. He runs toward it because he thinks it's his mother, but a neighbor woman comes running in. She tells him that his mother and brother have died and thanks God for letting him live. The boy is too young to understand what she is saying, so he wants to stay home and wait for his mother. The woman tells him that the Germans have attacked them and that he should leave. At that very moment, some soldiers came up to their house. The woman makes Sergei run out the window, but before she can join him, she is shot and killed. The 6-year-old boy is now all alone and has no family or friends. Sergei runs away from the house and looks back to see his whole neighborhood on fire. He calls for his mother, but no one answers, so he runs away. He runs for a while and then finds himself in the middle of the woods. Because he is lost, the little boy starts to call for his mother to come and get him. He stays in the jungle that night. The next morning, we see him drinking water from a river as soldiers from the enemy come toward him. Sergei quickly hides in the roots of a tree because he knows they are dangerous. He jumps when he sees a snake, but he doesn't say anything or run away. Sergei is less afraid of the snake than he is of the soldiers. The soldiers eat by the river and then leave. Sergei takes the food they left behind and eats it for the rest of the night. At the end of the day, though, the little boy is tired. He hasn't eaten well in 2 days and has been walking with no place to go. He trips and falls as he limps, but he keeps going. On his way, he sees some wild berries and eats them. Suddenly, an explosion behind him catches him off guard. The boy starts to feel dizzy and starts to see someone behind him. But even though he is scared, he stands his ground and tells the person he has a gun and is not afraid. He moves forward with a limp, but after a while he falls asleep. 2 soldiers come up to him while he is asleep. The scene cuts to Commander Kuznetsov waiting for his patrol soldiers at the Russian army base. They come in with the hurt and weak little boy or girl. When the soldiers say they are on his side, the boy opens up and tells them his name. When the kid shakes hands with the commander, they laugh and tell him that he should also introduce himself. The soldiers are nice to the little boy and put their arms around him. They feed him and make him drink water. Even the commander, who is usually very cold, takes care of the child. Sergei's wounds are taken care of by a nurse named Katia, who also likes him for who he is. The boy asks her to draw a tank on his wounds because he wants to be a soldier when he grows up. Even the hurt soldiers talk to the child, which makes them feel better. Sergei is very interested in the gun and badge of the commander. The commander also answers all of the little boy's questions and lets him play with his honorary pistol after taking the bullets out. Sergei shows him the tank that is drawn on his stomach and brags that he is also a soldier. The boy is getting better very fast. Katia, a nurse, asks the commander to let Sergei stay with the battalion, but he says it's not safe and wants to send Sergei to an orphanage. All of their free time was spent with Sergei. Throughout the day, many people come to see him. They bring him food that their families sent from far away. and they even let him use their binoculars. One day, the soldier asks the commander if the boy can stay with the battalion. The soldiers have grown close to the child and now think of him as one of their own. With him there, they don't have to worry about the war. But the commander is very sure that the boy needs to go to the orphanage for his own safety. The next day, the enemy comes back and hurts a lot of soldiers. Sergei is picked up by a car that takes him to the orphanage. The commander tells the kid the bad news and gives him an honorary pistol made of wood as a gift. In return, the boy hugs him and says he is afraid for the commander's safety. The commander changes his mind after being hugged by him. He asks Sergei to be his son and stay with the soldiers. That night, the soldiers go shopping for Sergei's clothes because they are so happy to have him stay with them. Sergei is woken up by the commander, who gives him the clothes. He runs around in them, making him look like a real soldier. The other people start calling him their little soldier boy. While the child runs around, the Germans attack the battalion from the air. The soldiers quickly get Sergei to a safe place and fight the others. The number of soldiers who are hurt is rising quickly. Sergei wants to help, so he brings water to soldiers who are thirsty. Because he has a bandage over his eyes, one of them asks him to read a letter from his family. The little boy wants to help, but he can't read yet. He takes the letter and starts making up what it says, like that the soldier's cow is safe at home. The other soldiers tell the soldier to go along with the story and laugh when he says he doesn't have a cow. He reads everyone's letters the same way and makes them feel better. In the next scene, Katya and the commander talk to each other. The two seem interested in each other, but they don't say how they feel. Later, Sergei tells the commander that he is the battalion's orderly and begins to introduce himself as one. But then the boy sees an attack destroy one of the soldiers' stations. The commander shows him how to show respect for the dead soldier by taking off his hat. The next day, he asks the commander to give him a job, and he is told to give the letters to each soldier. He does his job well, and even gets the other soldiers to dance for him. The next day, Sergei takes his binoculars and goes a little ways away from the base. He is playing with it when he sees a leg move inside a haystack. He runs back to the battalion to tell the soldiers what he saw. The soldiers aren't sure about the boy, but they follow him anyway. When they get close to the haystack, someone tells them that 2 German spies are hiding under it. The spies are caught, and the kid is complimented on how smart he is. That night, Sergei's adoption papers are shown to him by the commander. He is now the legal father of the child. Sergei knows that the commander likes Katya, so to thank him for being kind, he takes him to tell her. But when they see her talking to another man, they think she is interested in him instead. The Germans try to attack the base once more. This time, Sergei does everything he can to help the soldiers by bringing ammunition to the soldiers on the front line. However, the soldiers on the front line tell him to go back to the shed because it is too dangerous outside. When he gets to the shed, he sees the commander and other people freaking out because they can't reach the colonel by phone. The broken wires are fixed by a soldier. Sergei goes after the soldier and sees that he has been killed. He asks the soldier who is about to die how to fix the wires, and then he does it himself. When the connection is made again, more troops are sent. Everyone is saved by the 6-year-old. After that, we see the commander and Katya talking by the river. The commander finally tells her he loves her and asks her to be the mother of Sergei. Katya is very happy, but before she can say anything, a soldier comes up to them and gives the commander a letter that says they have been sent from the base. The next day, all of the soldiers, including Sergei, leave for their new base. On the way, though, they run into a minefield that destroys some of their vehicles. The explosion hurts the commander and kills the group's orderly, who was close to Sergei. He sobs and gives the commander a big hug. They take the ones who are hurt with them on their way to their new base. When they get to the other base, they meet the general, who is in charge of the commanders. He is also impressed by the kids' drive, and he tells the commander how lucky he is to have such a smart child. The next day, their division gets a guard's banner, and the boy gets one, too. When the general gives him his badge, he says he will save his country. One night, their base is attacked violently, and the commander is trapped under the ruins. Sergei cries for and tries to help his father. He tells the other soldiers to bring the commander out, which they do. The next day, Sergei goes up to a wounded commander, whose hands he hurt while trying to help. The kid is now a part of the team and can't be taken away. He doesn't have a family with them, so he moves with them wherever the war takes them. At the end of the movie, their regiment moves to a new base. A voice in the background says that he even fought in the Battle of Stalingrad and went with the soldiers to Poland. He is now known as the youngest soldier in the world's history, and the story of how brave he was is now told all over the world. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.